All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go for our next session. That really looks like one you want to record and get your notes out, get your pen and paper ready to go, or your note-taking device of choice, because in this one we're going to learn about freedom and how you can use the tools that are available on the blockchain in order to achieve what you want. Today, it's better than ever. And in this next session, you're going to get a chance to find out what is being done already and where we're going for the future. I've had a chance to talk with your next speaker, and this man is incredible. He knows what he's doing, he's passionate about it, and he's showing you how to do it. He is from Moscow. His name is Xanoxt, and I want you to join me in welcoming him right now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Actually, he's embellishing a little bit because, we are going into the future and no one is actually knowing what they are doing, but we are doing our best to do that. Anyway, you people here probably know about Bitshares because you've been on Steam, and there's a huge community of Bitshares people on Steam, as well as it's using the same technology. And usually in the beginning I would do a little bit of spiel about decentralized exchange and stuff like that. But first I want to talk a little bit about history. So it was like 9 years since the Bitcoin white paper was released, like 9 years and 2 days. Today's second, yeah. So, and the third thing that happened when this new, cool, disruptive, and decentralized thing appeared is that, and I think it's said so more or less in the white paper itself, that it's not the technology that's affecting the decentralization. The decentralization is actually right here. So, and people are people are creatures of habit, and they do things the way that they used to. So, a lot of infrastructure that appeared around Bitcoin was centralized, and one of those centralized things were centralized exchanges. And to date, at today's prices, for, well, I don't know since when, but for about like less than 10 years. In less than 10 years, in today's prices, they lost more than 6 billion in US dollar equivalent of users' funds in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and there were more than 50 centralized exchange hacks and hacks of other centralized services, and more than 36 of exchanges are no longer with us, including the cases where people just disappeared with others' money. They usually, you usually boo and say like scam and stuff like that. But here are the biggest ones, and the most recent one we have is BTC, and that was actually affected by US government, and I think it was partly a scam thing because the funds weren't actually seized by the government, I mean the fiat. So it's weird. Anyway, there are tools, and they were built like 4 years ago, that allow to circumvent this, but they're underutilized, and some of the features that are there are not utilized at all, and a lot of things can be built with what we have there if we get a little creative about it. And that's actually what our team were doing all this time. It started a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. We met in summer on Steemit. I was in close to Mongolia at the time, but we started by translating official Steam announcements and doing translations of Dan's articles and some other articles of note to spread the word out about this whole thing to the Russian-speaking community. But during that time, we encountered Bitshares, and one of the first things we did for the Bitshares, we translated into its interface into Russian, so it would be available for the Russians to use. There are two nationalities that are most known for not speaking any other languages, and that's Russians and Americans. But the Americans have it easy because, you know, English is widespread. Anyway, one thing led to another, and the first thing that we did, we resurrected the MPA said smart coin for a ruble that the committee broke back in 2014, and it's been dead like almost as long as the Bitshares is alive. So we have ruble, and it's currently in the possession of the committee. And the other thing that I want to talk, it was like, you know, like, hi, that's me, and the people I'm working with, and I'm just an outreach guy. I don't actually do the coding. I do some of, you know, like thinking and posing things. But the thing is, I actually, by having some talks yesterday and being on the talk that the girl from the Satanic Temple gave here, actually changed by how I'm going to talk about this by quite a bit, because she hit a lot of things that I usually talk about, but not when I'm presenting what we are doing. But that's actually, a lot of what we are doing has the same logic as what I usually talk about. And that's using tools. Using tools to affect change, because when you use something regularly, it changes how you operate, how you think. That's how humans work. And one of the best tools for that is Steam, because it's a lot like the cities were during the medieval times and industrialization. They brought a lot of resources, a lot of people together, a lot of different kind of resources, manpower, like cognitive resources, stuff like that, and that is what brought us here today. And hopefully, I really hope so, that Steam and stuff like that can bring that kind of positive change for things and, well, make everyone's lives better. Anyway, after starting working with Steam and Bitshares, we were like, okay, there are other graphene-based projects and a lot of people, there's a lot of momentum coming into the graphene ecosystem, and a lot of stuff that we were doing was inspired by people like Stan. They were writing a lot, and other people from Bitshares community on Steam. They were writing a lot about using Bitshares as a sort of nexus to connect all other graphene and non-graphene technology. And it is quite possible for graphene. It's really easy. And one of the things that we do is that we're 100% funded by the community, by the blockchains themselves. We work for the blockchain, we're paid by the blockchain. In what we are doing, we are able to afford to do this because blockchain exists, because there are tools already on the blockchain that allow you to do this. If you are operating a witness and you are doing stuff, you are basically doing things like us. And that's one of the best things that happened in blockchain since Bitcoin, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we have the witnesses on all major graphene-based chains. We have one on Bitshares, on Steam, on Golos, on Peer Plays, on Decent, on Muse. I don't think I'm not forgetting something. And if it's going to be based on graphene, we'll probably get a witness there. At least we'll try, because we like to support the graphene infrastructure. And another thing that allows us to do is to create gateways. Gateways are centralized. That's a unfortunate fact. But the way how we operate those gateways, it It allows you to see transparently that there are absolutely no shenanigans going on like happened on centralized exchanges. Your funds aren't used to trade against you and stuff like that. We also like to promote any sort of tools that mitigate and eliminate counterparty risk a lot, because we're from Russia, and in Russia, you know, Mr. Nice policeman can come and, you know, arrest you and say like, what you're doing is illegal, even if it's not, because the laws in Russia usually are a little hazy like that. So this whole thing about decentralized autonomous companies, cooperatives, communities, whatever, is a big thing for us, because those are new entities that are really hard to regulate. They are really hard to affect. And one of the things that we are building are peer-to-peer gateways into fiat. It's easy to shut down a centralized service, but if people can do it, like, you know, like, I have some, you know, Bitcoin, but I need cash. Would you help me? And stuff like that. And it can go like, you know, this thing. I'm Spartacus. Everyone could do it. They can't put everyone in jail. That's actually something that would lead to a revolution, usually. Anyway. Here's a little thing about how our gateways work. We have a ruble gateway that gives you BitRuble, that you don't have to trust us for when you give us rubles, and you have to trust us just during the time of the exchange. As for other gateways, for Steem, for Golas, for peer plays and other Graphene chains, they operate in the similar way. We have an account on the original chain, we have an account on Bitshares, and we create, Bitshares has this functionality that when you create a token, you have the maximum amount, but if you don't go over that maximum amount, you can create tokens or destroy tokens. So when the liquidity goes into Bitshares, the tokens are created. When you move your funds outside, they are destroyed, and you receive the token on the original chain. Yeah, and at some point we'll build an easy to look at page, so you see all those things, but right now you can look at our wallet on the original chains and our wallet in Bitshares. When we announce stuff like that, we post links like you can audit this, and it just takes you 2 clicks, because you open one window with one wallet and another window with the asset in question. And this is all possible because the blockchains pay us. And there are some things that can be improved, and that's by you all joining the Bitshares community. Instead of trading your Steam-backed dollars or Steem or Golas or, well, whatever, and paying a centralized exchange that's probably playing against you a fee, you can come to our gateways, and there's right now it's not much liquidity there, but if you are a whale, you could probably do some market making. That would be really great. You could support us by voting for our witnesses. Our witness is called Blockchained on Steem. It's same on Golas, and we have some other witnesses on other chains. It's usually either blockchained or you just remove all the vowels, and it's B, L, C, K, C, H, and D, like this. And that's actually a thing. By using this, by spreading the word, you can really help us. And well, we're building things that we want, and we also listen to what the community wants. And while we are mainly aimed at Russians, I know that a lot of people are coming and using our interface instead of others. That's probably not for everyone, but because Bitshares is the same thing, whatever interface you use, you can do this from any other interfaces. And hopefully our example, that's actually what I've been told since I came here. I've been told several times, like, oh, wow, you guys are doing great. You inspired us to do this. And that's actually what happened to us. I mean, like, we were like, oh, you guys are doing those great things. We want to do something like that. And that's how things change. This guy, Tim Humble, he said this thing about that we should recognize that humans are working as a virus. And the information thing, the memes, they work as a virus. And if we understand this, if we look at this, and if we are able to use this, we can affect this change. Build the tools that people, everyday common people can use, and build the tools in the same way that affects this kind of change. Most of this change doesn't happen with people realizing that it's happening. That's how it works. I mean, like, since you go, I don't know if there are people here who remember when there were no computers or no internet, but yeah, not having smartphones was much more recent. And if you try to remember how your daily routine was before them and how it is now, you'll see that they are completely different. And by building tools that integrate well into people's daily routine and change the ways that they think, can add some more decentralization here. And well, probably that's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a best thing that can happen to us. I think, I hope, because I believe in humanity. Anyway, see you on the DEX. You can come and check out our stuff. Thank you. Oh yeah, if you have any questions, I would be glad to answer them.
Please use the microphone so that way everyone benefits.
Do you have any market-making bots to provide extra liquidity?
If you know, Bitshares has this BTS bots thing, and a lot of people use them to market make and do a little bit of arbitrage and stuff like that. We use them as well, but our resources are quite limited because we are operating on the payment that we have from the network and some other sources that come from, you know, from maybe having a daily job or stuff like that. That's that's why I'm talking to you guys and I'm talking to the community in that we really need community engagement. We need people to come and bring liquidity with them and stuff like that. It's if you're a whale somewhere and if you like I don't know, Steam or whatever other favorites Graphene-based asset you have, you can market make, and you could probably even earn a little money on that if you know what you're doing. And that would help us and everyone else a lot as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Спасибо большое, мой друг. Thank you very